Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to peel back the sticker on an app that's probably on your phone right now. We're diving into a story about huge ambitions, crazy fast delivery, and a transformation that's changing how a whole country eats, shops, and, well, lives. Seriously, think about it. It feels like straight up magic, right? You tap a button and boom, a few minutes later, your dinner or your groceries are right there. But it's not magic. It's an incredibly complex machine, powered by data, logistics, and a whole lot of people. So, we're going to look under the hood of one of the biggest architects of this whole instant delivery world. It's a company you think you know, but its goals have grown way, way beyond just the food on your plate. Okay, so let's start with a name everyone knows, Zomato. For millions of people, it's the go-to app for ordering food. It's a household name, totally synonymous with food delivery. It's just been a part of our lives for years now. Here's where it gets interesting. What if I told you that the Zomato you know is now just one piece of a much bigger puzzle? See, the parent company, Zomato Limited, recently made a huge move. They rebranded into a holding company for this massive, sprawling new empire. And the name they chose? Eternal. To really get what Eternal is all about, we have to go back in time. The journey from a simple website to this tech giant has been an absolute whirlwind of buying companies, changing direction, and just relentless growth. You can just see the acceleration on this timeline. It starts as a simple restaurant listing site, right? Then it gets into delivery. But the real game changers were the acquisitions of Uber Eats, and then, this is the big one, the quick commerce player Blinkit. That move took them way beyond food. Add in the ticketing business, and suddenly the rebrand to Eternal makes perfect sense. Every single step was a calculated piece of a much bigger plan. So what does this Eternal empire actually look like today? Come on, let's break down the different pieces that are now all living under one roof. It basically stands on four main pillars. You've got Zomato, the original cash cow. Then there's Blinkit, the engine behind all that instant delivery. Hyperpure, which is the crucial behind-the-scenes supply chain, and District, their new bet on live events. So, you see, it's not just a food app anymore. It's this huge convenience and lifestyle platform. And they are pushing the limits like crazy. Blinkit isn't just for getting milk and bread in 10 minutes anymore. Nope. They're now delivering high-value electronics. Need a printer right now? Laptop just died before a deadline? The promise is you can have a new one at your door in minutes. I mean, that's a direct challenge to how we think about retail. And Hyperpure shows you just how tightly woven this whole thing is. It was started to supply ingredients to restaurants, right? But look at this. A massive 62% of its business now comes from supplying the sellers on Blinkit. Think about that. One part of the empire has become the biggest customer for another part. It's this incredible internal feedback loop. And the money involved? It's just staggering. We're talking over 20,000 crore rupees in revenue for the fiscal year 2025. And get this, that's a 67% jump from the year before. This is the massive engine that's fueling the whole operation. But, a 20,000 crore rupee empire isn't just built on apps and algorithms. It literally runs on the backs of hundreds of thousands of delivery partners. So now, let's flip the coin and look at the human reality that powers this convenience machine. First off, it's really important to know who we're talking about. The government's code on Social Security actually has a definition for gig worker. It's basically anyone who's earning a living outside of that traditional 9-to-5 employee-employee setup. This is the legal system finally starting to catch up with how the economy actually works now. And that legal system is finally changing. For the very first time, India's new Social Security Code is officially recognizing gig workers, pulling them into a social safety net. We're talking about access to things they never had before: accident insurance, health coverage, even pensions. For this workforce, this is a massive landmark shift. But okay, a new law is one thing. The reality on the street is something else entirely. Every single day, these delivery partners are fighting a whole bunch of things they can't control. Things that stand between them and that 10-minute promise. Just look at these charts. They show you just how big of an impact these things can have. On the left, you see delivery times just skyrocket as traffic gets worse. And on the right, it's pretty clear that bad weather can tack on some serious delays. These aren't just small things. They're the daily, unpredictable battles that can make a 10-minute promise almost impossible to keep.
Now, to deal with fuel costs and pollution, there's been a big push for electric vehicles. By early 2025, over 51,000 delivery partners were on EVs. But this brings a whole new set of problems. Riders are worried about how far they can go on a single charge and the fact that there just aren't enough charging stations around. It adds another layer of stress to the job.
So you have all this complexity on the inside, but at the same time, there's this intense pressure from the outside. Eternal isn't just building in peace. It's locked in a fierce head-to-head battle for control in an incredibly competitive market.
And the main rival, of course, is Swiggy. Let's look at the tail of the tape for fiscal year 25. Zomato, under the Eternal banner, has a bit of an edge in food delivery market share and a pretty big lead in total revenue. But the real kicker is that last line. Zomato's profitable. Swiggy is still reporting losses, mainly because they're spending so much to grow. It is a classic duopoly showdown. And if you're a customer, I'm sure you felt this battle in your own wallet. Both companies have added and then slowly increased these platform fees on every single order. It might not seem like a lot, but for them, it's a huge part of the strategy to pay for all these expensive operations and inch closer to making a profit.
But this two-horse race might not last forever. There are new players like Rapido jumping in with a totally different game plan. Their service, Only, is trying to shake things up by charging restaurants way lower commission fees. And that could really change the whole dynamic down the road.
When you boil it all down, you get to the real heart of the convenience economy. It's this constant, tricky balancing act. You've got this insane pressure for growth on one side, the demand for profits on the other, and holding it all together is the responsibility you have to the millions of people who actually make it all work. Look, there's no question that the world Eternal is building is incredibly convenient. It's here to stay. But as this empire of instant gratification just keeps getting bigger, it makes us ask a really important question. From the customer paying those extra fees, to the restaurant giving up a big commission, to the delivery partner stuck in traffic, who is really paying the price for that 10-minute delivery? It's something to think about the next time you tap that order button.